Hey, how are you? Welcome to One Piece of a Dream. My name is Richard, this is my wife Claire.
Hello.
And this is our review for One Piece chapter 1075. The chapter just dropped. It's titled Lava Phase Death Game. We went over the spoilers, but my god, this chapter brought in a lot of new information the spoilers did not convey right. This chapter finally revealed to us, at least, who the traitor of Egghead Island actually is. With that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get right into it. The chapter starts with the cover art, Germo 66's Emotionless Excursion Volume 31, an audience with the Gorosei as a scientist. Vegapunk is standing in front of the silhouetted versions of the Gorosei.
I think emotionless is a good word to describe this because he looks quite emotionless.
Yeah, Vegapunk really does look the same.
He's smiling, but...
He has this creepy grin in all of these pictures, and honestly, from the way we've been displayed Vegapunk, it kind of adds up that he is sort of now emotionless aside from his satellites. Not to say he doesn't have them, but it seems like he is the type of person who is almost sociopathic from what we're about to explain, because he is very much only caring about advancing science and not at all about the needs of others, even his own creations. And we're going to get into that in a minute, even when he acknowledges that they do have a will of their own and are real people. We start, though, with where we left off last chapter with Pythagoras, where Shaka... He was attacked, and Shaka's trying to get a hold of Pythagoras.
Obviously can't.
He can't. Shaka is now at the monitors watching them go off as the traitor turns them off one by one. Now, Shaka sees a shadow in the monitors. We sat there looking at this shadow for a very long time, trying to figure out whose shadow was in the monitor. And we believe we have figured out who, based on later on events in this chapter. Once we reach those parts, we'll wrap around and come back to this. We see Shaka watching the monitors go off. We see Luffy now confused because the voices in his headset have gone away.
Now he's gonna have to replace the headset.
No, he's not gonna replace. But he was, yeah, it's a joke because last chapter he thought he'd have to replace his shoes because he actually broke those. This, though, he didn't hit it off anything, so he doesn't think he broke it. He's just confused. We cut to Tower A, Floor 3, where we see Brook, Edison, and Nami stumbling across what appear to be a machine that makes diamonds. And Nami is having a typical Nami moment where she
wants... In pure Nami fashion.
Yeah, where she would like to take all the diamonds. However, strangely enough, even though everybody's supposed to be leaving, Edison says, "No, I can't just let you take those. Those jewels are expensive." But Brook literally points out, "Isn't it fine since everyone's leaving the island?" And Edison's basically asking, "Is your brain malfunctioning? What's wrong with you?" Because Nami's having a Nami moment, I guess. And then Nami asked Edison to help carry the jewels.
She also pulled a backpack out of nowhere.
Yeah, but Edison says, "No, I only listen to Stella." And this is going to be important later. When we first met the Vegapunk clones, Lilith obeyed Shaka. Why would Edison only obey Stella? Something isn't right. He also says that he should mention that they're man-made diamonds. Obviously, they're in a machine, so we kind of figured, and they are worth money. Why is Vegapunk making gems? Why would he invest his time and money into making gems? Probably because he wants more money for research, and the government's cutting him off, and the government's now trying to kill him, so it does make sense. However, what doesn't make much sense is the fact that if he were to be making these gems, why isn't he just using this in the first place to continue his research? Are you trying to tell me that diamonds that only he can make, that he can sell for large sums of cash, is not enough? Well, apparently not, because in the next part, we cut over to another room where Vegapunk is making an income, it seems, and it seems to be in a way that most people probably would find a little bit not so nice, maybe disturbing, because we cut to Chopper, Robin, and Atlas, and we see machines with man-made organs in them called organoids. First, Robin makes not really a joke. I can't tell if she was actually joking, but she says that she thinks that Vegapunk might have been chopped up. Chopper cries and thinks that's scary, but then it's explained that no, these organs are made for like medical reasons. And yet, if you know anything about how the real world works, organs are sold on the black market for hefty sums of cash. We go back to Shaka at the control panel, freaking out because he can't get in touch with Edison. Luffy comes in and says, "Hey, the voices in my headphones stopped, and I swear I didn't break them, I didn't hit them on anything." And we're watching as all the monitors, one by one, just go off. Click, 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 click. They're all going black. Luffy doesn't know what to make of it. And
he looks very confused.
yes, and Shaka says there is someone else here in the lab with us.
Spooky.
Tower B, floor 2, where we see
jeez.
Sanji, Stussy, and Jinbei walking along. Sanji asking Stussy to call him a dog, and
Why?
Stussy saying, yeah, if you find Stella, I'll do it. And Jinbei is just commenting on how big the place is, and Stussy answers that's because this is a weapons manufacturing floor, and we can't have anything breaking. We know that Vegapunk makes weapons. Okay, so this floor is not a surprise, but it's starting to seem a little bit suspicious because he's got not fake, but he's got man-made gems being made that only he can make for money, organs being made that he could sell for money, and now weapons that he could sell for money. He's basically like able to create an income the government can't provide with this sort of thing. These are very vital things that Vegapunk is creating here.
He's trying to make all that money.
Yeah. Clearly, he's trying to fund his own research at this point with the money he got from the government. We go on to Tower C, left floor 3, where we see that Lilith is explaining to Usopp the gun she is carrying around is actually a bubble gun that can reflect anything, just like the bubble pacifistas we saw. The bubble shield.
I like the bubbles.
Yeah, the bubble shields the pacifistas were using. This group, York, Lilith, Usopp, and Frankie, are about to run into the spot where Pythagoras was attacked. And Pythagoras' headless corpse is now laying on the bridge that he was attacked on, and we see that they're just kind of scared, like, oh my god, he's missing his head, when Usopp pulls his slingshot, or Kabuto or whatever, about to attack something across the bridge. It's Pythagoras' head, and he's saying, hold on, Usopp, basically, don't shoot me, I'm just Pythagoras' head. I ejected myself and I dodged my attacker. I'm alive. So Pythagoras is alive. Great. However, when he goes to try to explain what he thinks he saw, because he says it could be a mistake on our end, York starts to walk up to the, for some reason, just sitting there at the end of this bridge, Boa Hancock Seraphim.
Yeah, and she's just standing there.
Yes, and it becomes very apparent who attacked Pythagoras, because as she's petting the Boa Hancock Seraphim, saying, wait, didn't Edison say to cease operations? You should just wait outside, okay? You're so cute. Immediately, the Boa Hancock Seraphim, Mera no Mise her, turns her to stone and says, shut up, York, and kicks her over. Strange that the Boa Hancock Seraphim would even do this. It's almost like she was doing it of her own accord. I don't believe that's the case.
Even then, if it's like of her own accord, why? Why would she just attack York out of nowhere? It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. However, I think that there's going to be more to this than just the Seraphim doing this on their own. I think they're just in agreement with what they're doing. Lilith is confused. She doesn't know why this would happen.
Angry.
Yeah, she says, why? It's a Seraphim. Stop, Seraphim. Why are you moving on your own? And the Boa Hancock Seraphim continues to attack, instead of yielding and listening to what Lilith said. Lilith, Pythagoras, Frankie, and Usopp all survive by jumping down off the bridge.
Some of them have more elegant landings than others.
Usopp face plants. The other ones all basically land with hover boots. Pythagoras is just caught by Lilith, but Frankie and Lilith use their hover boots to hover. Frankie asks, why don't we just fight back? And Lilith says, enough with the jokes. There's no way we can win. I created them to be the strongest humans. This may be lending to the idea that the Seraphim are now operating on their own. Maybe. I doubt it. I don't
know about that.
It's possible. There's two ways this could go right now. Either one, the Seraphim are indeed operating on their own, or two, there is a traitor that isn't just the Seraphim. We go back to the control room, and we hear Zoro yelling to Luffy, hey, come and give me a hand. He's fighting now against S-Bear and S-Hawk. Luffy comes and rushes in with Shaka. Shaka tries to command them to stop. He asks whose orders they're following, but they don't stop. Zoro explains that they were trying to attack the handcuffed CP0 agents.
Keep in mind how this specific panel is worded as well. They started attacking the CP0 agents.
So they weren't attacking Zoro, they were attacking the CP0 agents, which is weird, isn't it? That they would choose to just attack the CP0 agents who were there to kill Vegapunk. They don't stop. Once the Seraphim start attacking again, Luffy and Zoro grab up Lucci, Kaku, and Shaka, and they get the hell out of there. Because Shaka realizes that if he can't override the command, that means that whoever gave the initial order has to be Vegapunk. He doesn't say a Vegapunk either. He says Vegapunk in general. Now, this could be a translation issue from what I'm seeing, but I'm pretty certain that's not the case. But first, Lucci and Kaku ask to be released from their shackles because, as Shaka puts it, someone is out to kill us. and Lucci and Kaku asked to be released from their Sea Prism Stone handcuffs, and Zoro and Luffy just looked disgusted. Basically, the argument is that they're more useful to them uncuffed than cuffed, and we could put our differences aside, yada yada yada. You know, the typical let me free and I'll help you sort of deal. But what's really major here is that the Stella body would probably have to be the one behind all this. And this was probably meant to be a red herring. The way Oda set this up was Stussy with the control chips, where someone else can't override someone else of the same authority level's order. But I don't think all the Vegapunks are actually the same authority level. I think that there is a hierarchy there within the Vegapunk hierarchy. So, you know how Lilith obeys Shaka? Well, I think that hierarchy carries over where Stella is the ultimate decision maker of the Vegapunks. I think that based on what number Vegapunk they are, they can cancel out whoever is beneath them in the hierarchy's order. So I think...
Makes sense.
Yeah. So basically, I would say that if Shaka can't get him to stop, that would mean Stella had to have commanded it. Unless the Seraphim are taking off on their own, the Stella body is the one that seems to be giving the orders. And back to the shadow we saw taking out the monitors earlier. As we know, the Seraphim are now currently attacking everybody, not the Straw Hats. Because from what we could see, the Straw Hats are just collateral. They're not directly...
they weren't being directly attacked.
Yeah, they're seeming to be going after the Vegapunks, and they're seeming to be going after the CP0 agents, but not the Straw Hats, which would make sense if Stella gave the command, because Stella needs the Straw Hats right now to leave. There's a lot of reasons why they may want to take out, or Stella may want to take out Shaka and the other Vegapunks. They have free will at this point. They can do what they want at this point.
It's not a good reason.
Yeah, Dragon was on the phone with Shaka. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be happening that could lead to why Vegapunk, his main body, may disagree with what his clones are doing or see them as a hindrance or whatever, and why he might want them gone. I hope we get elaborations on this later on, but the shadow that was in the camera must have been Seraphim Jinbei, because we looked at that shadow for a long time, and we finally matched up that it looks like the most like Jinbei. It looks like Jinbei's outline. It doesn't really look like any of the Vegapunks. It looks more like Seraphim Jinbei.
And keep in mind, where else would he be?
If you look at a picture of Jinbei with his little tuft on his head and everything, it looks an awful lot more like the Jinbei Seraphim facial structure than it does any of the Vegapunks or the other Seraphim or anyone else that could possibly be a suspect at this point in time for going around and destroying the Den Mushis. Really, unless this is a completely new character, which couldn't be, because as Shaka just confirmed, Vegapunk would have had to have given the order, or at least a Vegapunk, if the order hierarchy doesn't actually apply in the way I claim it does, or think it does at least, and it really is another Vegapunk can't override another Vegapunk, which seems very flawed, considering that Stella is very much, in a way, a control freak. I mean, he quite literally wants to link the entire world up to his brain for some reason. That's quite literally...
King Brain.
Yeah, he wants to be King Brain. That's quite literally the most controlling thing I think I've heard. And now we have Kuma going to attack Marie Joie, and all of this taking place right after Bonnie finds Kuma's memories. There's something strange going on here, and I'm not going to act like I know it all, but I am thinking that Stella might be the actual perpetrator here.
It makes sense. I don't like it, but it makes sense.
I don't like it either, but it does make sense. Let us know who you think it is down in the comments. That's all we got for you guys today. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's our review of this chapter. We thought it was great. There's a whole lot going on here. It's really a mystery at this point to what's going on. I honestly really love it.
Pretty damn good chapter.
Yeah, I hope Oda implements more stuff like this. Let us know what you think of the Lucci, Kaku, Zoro, Luffy team up. If you're interested in seeing that happen, if you think it's cool, if you think maybe Lucci and Kaku will be joining up with the Straw Hats or allying or something, or maybe they'll go back to fighting after this. Maybe Lucci and Kaku will turn on them.
They're gonna make their own pirate crew.
Yeah, they can't go back to the government now. The government's gonna disown them, just like when CP9 failed. They're gonna disown them the same way here. They're working with a Yonko, and they're failing their mission.
I believe in Spot's pirates.
Until then, we hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's definitely been a hell of a chapter. That's all we have for you guys. If you enjoyed, though, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see all of our future uploads. If you don't, you may as well not even be subscribed. Maybe watch another video if you enjoyed this one. And until next time, that's all we got for you. Peace.
Bye.